My best and most expensive sales of 2023. Welcome back, friends. I'm Josh and I run a vintage toy store on eBay. I buy and sell vintage toys. This past year, I sold about 170K plus gross on my toy store on eBay, and I would like to share the best and most expensive of 2023. My top 20 sales grossed just shy of $20,000, to be exact, $19,704.31, which is pretty insane for a top 20 in sales. I will not go through the top 20 in this video because most of them are trains and you don't want to see just trains. But I will go through the top 20 best and best stories that I like of the top 100 most expensive sales that I had. So let's get started. My top 5 sales on eBay are all trains, all very expensive trains from about 20-ish years ago, I believe is the time period. 3 Challenger imports, a Hallmark model, and a precision scale iron horse. They're all HO scale, brass, and amazing. They're in big box sets, so it's multiple pieces, all from the same collector. I paid this collector a lot of money the month that I picked these up because they were insane. The top set was a limited edition release of about 25 pieces maybe. I can't remember exactly, but I believe there's only 25 sets of this released, and so it was worth $2,200. I took a best offer on that one. The guy was really nice to work with. But yeah, top 5 are all trains. We won't go into details on them. The next item I'd like to share about is the 6th best item, and that was a Batman Corgi from 1973. It is a Batmobile and Bat boat on a trailer, and this one was in box. And this was actually a piece from my dad's collection that he had bought years ago. So the box was in crazy good shape for a piece that is now 50 years old. Super cool. Went for $1,200. The next item I like to share that went for $1,162 is a pair of Salvatore Ferrogamo alligator or crocodile skin leather loafers. And these ones have a crazy story because I found these in a storage unit. I bought this storage unit for $110. And I bought it because there were boxes in the storage unit that had Macintosh, which is like a stereo and sound equipment that is very, very expensive. All those Macintosh boxes were empty. But on the floor of that storage unit were a bunch of trash bags. And those trash bags were all filled of designer clothes and shoes. So that $110 went crazy, especially for one of those shoes going for $1,000. The 4th item that I would like to talk about is a Martin guitar. And if you've ever heard of Martin, or if you're in the music world, Martins are nice guitars. This one happened to be a JM Jumbo Mahogany, and it was a 2002, I believe, which happened to be a rare model. And so there wasn't a lot of exact sales history on this one. And so I put it up for auction, and it went for right in the middle of what I was expecting. It went for $1,100, which is great for a guitar that I bought in a storage unit. This unit was a very cool unit. I believe it was about $1,500, and it had a very nice guitar in it that sold for $1,100. This 5th item I would like to share with you is a Basso vintage racing bike. And nowadays Basso is still well known for their incredible, like, world-class racing bikes that go for thousands and thousands of dollars, but this one's probably 40 to 50 years old. It actually does not have a very good identification system on these ones, so there was no exact model number besides the dimensions on this one, so I don't know the exact year, but I do appreciate good looking bikes. My dad was a bike person. We did a lot of bike races growing up, and this was a cool bike. It is beige, but it was so well finished. It was so extremely clean. It had a bunch of Campagnolo pieces and Brooks leather seat and pouch. Insane condition for 40 or 50 years old, barely used. I bought this from a collector, and it was his dad's, and he didn't use it much, but it was in amazing condition. And it went for $1,064 for a 50-year-old bike. The sixth item I'm going to share with you is just a really random item. It's not a toy or anything, it's just a Soloflex. It was a popular workout equipment 40-ish years ago, and it is big. These things sell well. However, I did not want to ship mine because I would have to freight ship it. I'd have to put it on a pallet. I wanted to just do local pickup. So I bought this one in January. I bought 2 of them for $200. So $100 a piece. The one was a workout machine for the legs. The other one is like a all body kind of workout machine. The leg one is the rare one, and it sold for $700 like that. And just this past month, the other one sold for $500. So I turned $200 into $1,200 on 2 pieces of workout equipment. This next one is something I'll probably never come across again. This one is a Brookfield Collector's Dodge Ram pickup truck, and this was a 1/12 scale. 1/12 doesn't mean anything, I'm sure, to listeners, but 1/12 is a huge scale, you know, like this and like this, and it was heavy. It was a heavy box, and it was well made. This is something that I assume was in like dealerships, so very limited quantity made, and this one went for $640. The eighth thing I'd like to share with you is a 1996 original Fraiser script that is signed by the cast and has the dog print on it, all in blue ink. Now, Fraiser is a TV show that ran for many seasons, very famous, and before my time. But this went for $545. I got this from a lady whose father either bid on it at a fundraiser or donated enough money and was sent this. So came across in a cool way and ended up being a super collectible, super cool item. The ninth thing on my list is a Lego, and this one is the Disney Castle, which is actually a newer version, and it's sold for $432, and I bought this from a Goodwill for about $200. I bought it incomplete, so I was a little bit skeptical. Ended up working out great. The 10th thing on my list is a Star Wars 1984 vintage A-Wing pilot. It comes complete with the original gun and coin, which is kind of crazy that the collector I bought this from had all this in the bucket together, and when I separated, went through everything for him and paid him thousands of dollars for all his 90s G.I. Joe toys and 80s Star Wars toys, that this piece was complete. And this was the best, most impressive piece that he had in terms of single loose action figures. It went for $431. The 11th thing on this list is again from the $110 storage unit that I bought that had trash bags full of stuff on the floor. This is a Gucci leather boot that went for $425. It's actually my size, but I'm not fancy enough to wear Gucci yet. The 12th item on the list is a magazine that sold for $415. This is the Mad magazine set. This one's actually a hardcover, a 4-set hardcover set with a shell, and it's just extremely, extremely rare. And this was sitting in a storage unit, along with the 13th item, which is a early 1900s antique wooden alphabet blocks. These sold for $411. I thought these were really, really cool. They were in just very pristine, very ornate condition for their age. Wooden blocks that just get played around with, tossed around. All the carvings and the coloring on the sides was just great. I could tell that these were super old because of how they spelled aeroplane, and just some of the animals on there were actually extinct now. And this sold to a country club out in New York. So it'll just be on display, I believe. The 14th item I want to talk about went for $402, and I got this for $5 at a garage sale. This is a Cutco 10-piece knife set. It was in terrible condition, and it went for $402. This is something I've heard about on YouTube for years, the brand Cutco, and I finally came across one. Number 15 went for $385, and it is 11 set graphic novels of the Essential X-Men. And it is 1 through 11, a complete and full set. These graphic novel sets, I've learned, go for a lot of money when complete. Number 16 went for $368, and this was a Disney's Beauty and the Beast Snowglobe. And these ones were huge. I bought maybe a dozen plus a bunch of other Beauty and the Beast collectibles from a collector who reached out to me through eBay, and I spent about $1,000 on his collection. Number 17 on my list went for $346, and it is a Danbury Mint Aston Martin DB5 1964 James Bond edition car. Super cool. I had a hard time not selling this one because on this one there's even the ejection seat that comes out, and they are amazing models. 1/24th scale and just beautiful cars. And so I had this one, and then also the Hudson Hornet, also a Danbury Mint, also very cool because of the Cars movie. Loved 007, loved cars. Number 18 on my list is a F100 Supersaber Foam Air aluminum desk airplane display. This is, I believe, from the 60s, and this would have been like an award given to fighter pilots in the Army or Air Force, and so they're super rare, and this one was actually customized to the person that received it. It had paintings on it, stickers on it. This one was in bad condition. It was broken, and it's still sold for $299. Number 19 is a giant insect Mobius model kit. This one was professionally painted. And so this one was from a storage unit that I bought in January for about $900. And it was the most insane storage unit I've ever bought. Filled with professionally painted models that were Aurora, Mobius from the 50s to like 80s. Just insane models. An insane collection of action figures from majority the 70s. An insane DVD collection and CD collection. Just insane. But this is one of the nicer painted models that sold for $298. Number 20 went for $262, and this was a movie poster / like photograph from the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space. This movie came out in 1959, and this poster and photograph was signed by Mahogany, who is Vampira, Paul Marco, Greg Walcott, but Mahogany, who is the Vampira actress, is the reason why that this poster is so expensive. I had no idea what this auction was going to go for. It ended up going for $262. Again, from that same storage unit as the model that I just mentioned. A bunch of horror stuff was in this unit, and it was a crazy cool unit. A super awesome collector. Those are my best sales of my most expensive items of 2023. Thank you for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. It helps us more than you know. Thanks for watching.